Hello and welcome again to Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. And for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Chris Brown and I'm your host. Today what I want to do is I want to talk about Chainlink. I happen to be dollar cost averaging into Chainlink right now, so it's a little of interest to me. And there was a positive news article that came out on Friday that caused me to take a closer look at it. And essentially, but before we get into that, what I want to do is I want to give a shout out to Bitcoin IRA. So if those of you who are looking maybe for a different way to invest, Bitcoin IRA is a good way to do so. They've got an IRA account that you can invest in for those of you who presently have IRAs and you want to shift them over into Bitcoin. You can see here that they've been around for quite a while, but they've been on Forbes and CNBC as well as the Wall Street Journal. They've got a great platform. It's easy to use. And for those of you who may not presently have an IRA and are looking to start one, you can start one with as little as $100 in this platform. So for those of you who are interested in a different way to invest, I would highly recommend Bitcoin IRA. All right, let's go back to Chainlink. So on Friday on FX Street, this analysis kind of came out, and I thought it was a pretty good one on Chainlink. And basically what it was saying is that Chainlink could see a recovery as high as $18. For those of you who've been following it, back in August, Chainlink reached as high as 20 or almost 20. And what they basically were saying is that, Chainlink was falling into this downward wedge, and it had broken out of it at this point right here and started to climb up as, of course, Bitcoin was climbing and going to about 24,000. But if we take a look at what has essentially happened, here is the day chart, which is the best way to see that downward wedge here. It broke up, it came up to about as high as 15 cents, and now it's broken down to, 12, almost 12, let's say 12.50 for argument's sake right now. Which, I mean, isn't bad. But it has kind of regressed downward. But then again, so has Bitcoin. Bitcoin was as high as 24,000, and it's sitting here at 22.8. So it's kind of following the trend of Bitcoin, obviously. But it's a strong project, and it has definitely a lot of attention, and there's a lot of good optimism around it. So I kind of want to jump into it right now, and to kind of reiterate that optimism. In this article, it says, according to Sentiment, the leading provider of on-chain indicators and analysis, Chainlink's network growth is rising. Following the spike in November that saw the numbers in the new addresses joining Chainlink top around 34, just over 3,400, a decline touched 2,250 around December 15th. At the time of this writing, new addresses on the network have surged almost to 3,600, representing a 37.5% increase. And that's extremely really positive. And it kind of corresponds to here, the sentiment on CoinGecko that, 73% of those watching Chainlink are optimistic and would invest in it. So with that being said, I want to go to this article that takes a close look at, I want to go to this article and takes a closer look at the price projections of where Chainlink might in fact be, or where it would go. So Chainlink right now, it has a market cap of about $4.2 billion. You've got about 388 million in circulating supply. Its all-time high was 1985, and its all-time low was 12 cents. Going to CoinGecko right here, basically what we can see is, in terms of its maximum supply, is 1 billion coins. So they're about 40% distributed at this particular point in time. So this article and review is actually on Coinpedia. So basically, in their technical analysis, they believe basically, well, they kind of go through the history of it real quick. Link was founded in 2017. The year that it was released, started off at 9 cents, went to 11. Then in 2018, which you got to keep in mind, that was a bear market. It doubled in value from 15 cents to 43 cents. And then it increased all the way to $1. 2019 was a good year for Link. It was hovering over $1, about $1.19. It went to $1.93. And then later that coin went as high as $2.24. By the time Link appeared on the exchange, it had reached $4.45. But by the end of August, the price had then decreased back down to $1.61. So in here, the Chainlink saw a significant movement in January of 2020, going from $1.74 to $4.60. And then in July, it started to climb in response to a surge as China's national blockchain network and blockchain service network was activated with 135 nodes integrated with the Chainlink price oracles. So that leads us to where is Chainlink going to go? It says according to CoinMarketCap, the cryptocurrency has broken the top 10 and it is ranked. If we go back here to CoinGecko, it's ranked number 7 here. And then well, it's in the top 10 right now. Chainlink is most likely to gain more against the U.S. pair and touch around 15. Well, yeah, we can definitely see that coming into play. I mean, it definitely has already touched 15. The question is, in the article, will it reach back up to here to this 18 level before the end of the year? So the price predictions are quite interesting. In 2021, there's a bullish sentiment that the price of Link could be as high as $30. And by the end of 2025, there are those that believe that the price of the coin could be as high as $130 per coin. So we're going to look at 3 different price projections. Actually, yes, 4. We'll look at 4. They kind of give us an idea of what they think the price is going to rise. And then at the very, very tail end, I'll take a look and see how practical that might be and give you my own opinion of it. The first one is Wallet Investor. And the prediction of Wallet Investor is that the prediction suggests that Chainlink's price could go up to $28.45 in 2021. So that's pretty close to the 30. Long-term potential is about 1.4x, 141% in 1 year. It's not bad. It's not bad growth. They said the future price of Chainlink in 2024 would be $82. Okay. So then the next one is Digital Coin. Their projections, Chainlinks is expected to roughly go up to $22 before 2020. So before, I don't know that, that's my opinion would be, I don't see it going up that high, but it could. There's only a couple weeks left of the year. And may hit as high as 32 by the end of 2020. So we had a projection of around 30. We had the last one by Wallet Investor was 28. Now this one is at 32. So then we go to Trading Beast. Trading Beast forecast is that in 5 years, Link could be as high as $82 again. And then, so for Coinpedia, their projections for the system is that Link could stay around $15 in 2020, and then in 2022, it could go to as high as 25. So they're a little bit conservative. They give the $30 price tag in the year 2023, 2024, $60, and then 2025, it doubles and goes to 121 in their case. And so for me, when I'm looking at this as an investor, I'm going, okay, where exactly would these numbers be coming from? And so, like everybody else, I'm essentially going to go back to what is its present value relative to the market cap of cryptocurrency and as a whole. So the market cap right now for the cryptocurrency is at $657 billion. as of today. We've got a market cap for Link sitting at 4.9 billion, which is about 0.6% of the total market cap. So if we look at just Coinpedia's number of 121, I'm going to round up and basically say we're looking at a 10x return in about 5 years. So that basically would put the market cap of all of crypto, let's say, to 10x as well in 5 years, which would put it at 6.5 billion. And so far, up to all the calculations and the different things that I have read to date, that projection is a little high. From what I could gather, by 2025, 2026, the calculations that I've always been using is a market cap could be at around 3 trillion. So it's about half of that. And so if I start to look at Chainlink, I'm thinking, okay, so from 2017 to 2020, in a 3-year period of time, they've released 40% of their coins. So another 5 years, I think it's pretty safe to say that they would release the remaining 60%, 40% in 3 years, okay, which takes us to 80, and then the remaining 2% in the following 2 years. So I think it's safe to say that in terms of their circulating supply, they would be at their 1 billion. So they'd be fully distributed at that point. Sentiment's been really good this past year. They've gone up, 550%. But I still think in terms of an overall value, though, I do not see the overall market cap going to as high as 6 trillion. 6 trillion. I think it'll stay around 3 trillion. So if it stays around 3 trillion and only goes up to that level, which is not a 10x, but that's more like a 5x, then my projections is that Chainlink would not go from 1250 to 120 in 5 years, but it would be do about half of that, and I'm thinking it would go to 60. Now I could be wrong completely with that, but that's what I'm looking at right now as an investor. I'm looking at a little bit more of a conservative increase. I'm seeing an increase for sure. I think it's definitely well worth investing into, but I don't quite see it as high. So what does that say to me as an investor? To keep watching it, and to keep watching it relative to Bitcoin, relative to the overall market, and to see if in fact it's going to gain value. Also, the other thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to dig into the coin, and I'll do another video because I went onto the website and read across some interesting articles about use cases for it. So for me, I'm going to be very interested in the continued use cases for it. Obviously, they're into smart contracts for other projects. And so that's the niche that they carved out for themselves, which I think is pretty smart. So I think they're on the right track, but I want to see how they continue to develop that and become basically the go-to, if you will, for smart contracts within the cryptocurrency market. So that's essentially it real quick. 120 by 2025. Is that your opinion? What do you think? Or is it going to be closer to maybe $60 per coin? Either way, we're still looking at an increase on Chainlink, I think. And I still think it's a good investment. Would love to know what your comments are or what your thoughts are. So go ahead and put them down in response to the video. Of course, like it. Of course, become a part and subscribe to the channel. Would be great to have you on Crypto Novus. And that's it for today. So remember, Crypto Novus is where newbies become masters.